Hi, today Kent and Renee are going to talk about what creates man's dark side. And that's on pages 172 through 174 on the augmentation of man, studying Renaissance. So what is the dark side?
So man's interpretation of the dark side is different than the universal interpretation. We discussed this in our last video and podcast, but we're going to expand upon this.
So everything negative is actually a dark side. So if it's a negative influence or a negative thought, it's a dark, it comes from
That's
the
what
dark
we
side.
perceive
That's
as
what perceive it.
Yeah. But universally, it's all about balance. So we have a kind of a spectral scale, a sliding scale, where one side will balance the other. And so one side is the opposite reflection of the other. And negative in a universal sense is all about, it's all about the information and learning.
And lack of information.
Yeah. So when they talk about negative, it is about withholding information or detouring somebody, only giving them limited information so they believe one thing when really that lack of information was intended to keep them in the dark.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's just lack, not necessarily lack of information, it's no information of what can be trusted.
Right. And so positive in a universal sense is always about the learning, and it's about expanding consciousness and finding deeper levels of truth.
Which you have to find yourself, within yourself. So,
yeah, so that is achieved through meditating, finding, researching.
And your dreams can actually guide you.
Searching for truth, reading. Our world is very confusing right now because we've got a lot of agendas and we've got a lot of control consciousness. And so it is
all based on negative thought. Negative
controlling of
controls the world today.
So would you say that there are more negative entities on Earth in the form of humans than there might be universally?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay. So that gives us a clear picture of what we're talking about when we talk about negative entities. Just look at
everything's about
the ones in control right now.
Yeah, everything's about feeling good. What makes them feel good? What makes them, I'm going to succeed no matter what? Success in their head is not necessarily the truth.
And so in the universe, we have a balance of energies, and sometimes a negative influence where we are kept from the information or detoured sometimes is helpful in the promotion of our eventual enlightenment. So therefore, as we learn that we didn't have the full truth, what do we naturally do? We seek to find the truth. It makes us more resilient in our challenge to find the truth, right?
To finding the truth. You can't be a socialite, what I call a socialite, jumping on the group or bandwagon of being negative. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm going to be one of the group because I don't want to be out by myself. You can have 10 negative people and you're the only positive. You say, oh, I don't want to be positive because I'm looked at differently. So I will be negative just to be part of the group, which is not correct. It's not finding truth.
And how much of that, and you're talking about attitude.
Well,
right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that is different.
That's the human attitude. They want to be
it's
part
an
of the
attitude.
group, but their negative thought adds to that.
So it's a negative attitude, but that's not really perceived universally as a true negative.
But that contributes to being part negative. You have to have a negative attitude to be untruthful.
I see. Okay. So, but how much are people influenced? Like by being around people who control information, if they're not originally somebody who desires to control, are they influenced by being in close proximity
Those that
to
want to be
those
part of
who
the
are
group will
controlling?
let someone else control them through the negative information that they put out. They want to be part of a group. They don't want to be out there thinking this is not right, because people will look at them and say, well, you're not part of our group. Humans want to be part of a group, part of a team all the time. So therefore, they gravitate towards their side, which could be negative or not. It could be the positive side, could be a negative side, but they gravitate towards that side, which they feel encompassed in.
Or accepted.
Yeah, accepted.
Okay. So what we're being told is that the misrepresentation of thoughts as being dark, that we will naturally migrate away from the dark thoughts once we are enlightened. So when you find the truth and you become the truth seeker, you naturally move away from the universal definition of being in the dark or trying to hide information.
But you don't necessarily become a positive seeker. You become more neutral. You begin looking at both sides of an argument, of a thought. You're not negative, you're not positive. You're searching.
So I understand that in order for us to see the whole picture, we have to be neutral and to have enough of an open mind to be able to see both sides. But universally, when you're seeking the truth, that is considered a positive behavior.
Yes, but as long as you're seeking, you're not creating a negative influence on something. Okay? And you won't be a total positive person until you totally understand what
And
you're
so
seeking.
in today's environment, politically, what we see are two sides that have very stark differences in their perceptions about what is occurring within the United States government today.
Actually, it's around the world.
Well, a lot of these events are going on around the world, and astrologically, it's lined up to that. Especially this month, December 2019, there is a big focus astrologically on government. And then again in March of 2020. So we're going to see this kind of circle back again in March. But what I would venture to say is that that truth is going to lie somewhere in the middle of those two polarized groups.
Yeah. So with conceptual understanding pushes out our perception when you become conceptual. Are humans looking at the chaos around the world, the protests against the different governments, are they trying to become conceptual beings? Are they taking the first steps towards becoming conceptual beings?
So how do we define being a conceptual being or conceptual learning?
Getting rid of your perception, which we've been in.
And it includes looking at the entire picture. So we have to collect all the various data points, and then we start connecting the dots so that we can see a larger picture. So anyway, we have to understand that a positive entity is one who searches for the truth, and a negative entity is
one who doesn't,
who's trying to conceal it.
Right.
Either for themselves, sometimes people themselves, it's self-imposed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So man creates his own dark side by intentionally not looking for the truth, intentionally looking at only one side of the picture. That creates our own dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not looking for the full truth.
So how can you bond with Earth vibrations? How can you even come close to bonding with the Earth and saying, I want to bond with Earth vibrations and become part of it? when you won't open yourself searching for truth.
So what Kent is getting at here is that Earth is a part of a universal system that is connected in the sharing of intelligent information. And we have to bond with the Earth if we are going to progress as conscious beings, so that part of our existence here in this physical reality involves becoming a part of the field in which feeds us that information. So we can gather information, but we can also go into a meditative state, and we can use
not everyone
spiritual...
go into a meditative state. They go into a dream state. Most people are in dream state, but they don't know how to interpret the dream. Learn how to interpret your dreams. Okay, get a good dream dictionary, and maybe 2 different dream dictionaries, but learn how to interpret your dreams. What is it trying to teach you? We are trying to all become conceptual beings of understanding. But we have to get rid of our old perceptions, because they tend to influence our ego, which influence what we do and how we think. So in order to bond with the Earth, you have to exchange the understanding with the Earth and the vibrational attuning with the Earth.
And so getting back to the dreams come out of the 4th dimension. And we are living in a 3rd dimensional world with a 4th dimensional classroom of time. And so our souls are also in the human, at the human level, our souls exist in the 4th dimension. So we are learning about ourselves as we are learning about the field in which we live in.
Even though we do not recognize it.
And we don't recognize it.
So,
and so to delve into interpreting one's dreams, we are learning about our own spiritual journey. And a good dream dictionary is going to allow us to interpret the metaphoric value of the dreams. And we happen to like a dream dictionary in particular called "I Had the Strangest Dream."
But you should get 2 dream dictionaries and cross.
It doesn't cover everything, but it is a good one for the metaphysical aspect of our spiritual journey.
Yeah, so learning pushes us. When we learn how to look at events, we will automatically go to a higher vibration, even though you may not know it, but you will be pushed to a higher vibration.
And you can't do that being polarized when you're looking at something. You really have to force yourself to look at the other side that may be uncomfortable, but it is a part of the entire picture. And when we totally delete that side of the picture, we are imposing a negative aspect upon ourselves, in that we are not looking at the full truth.
Yeah, so we must, and I accentuate the word must, get away from the things that make us feel good, like bells and trinkets, things that make us feel wonderful, and look and search for what the truth of understanding is.
And so what these guides have told us is that so many times we as humans, especially ones who are searching for that expansion in consciousness, turn to things that really don't deliver on the consciousness. What we need to do is focus our studies and our attention on what is going to provide us with the deeper level of understanding. That is where we get our vibrational attunements. It just doesn't happen by feeling good. It doesn't happen by doing these ceremonies that do not have a whole lot of value in the ceremony. So the Native Americans and Native peoples around the world, they understand the value of the ceremony and being in touch with the earth. And why we do those ceremonies, it must have the heart involved.
And if you really want to delve in this with both feet, go to the shamans of the native people. Shamans, not somebody who's been the shaman and took a class. That is not right. Go to the actual shamans, the medicine men, and tell them you want to learn. You want to understand. What can they teach you? They're not going to teach you everything they know, but they can teach you enough to get on your own path and where you can actually get rid of your old perceptions and begin looking at everything that surrounds you in a different light.
And remember, this earth provides the vibrational classroom for all the events that occur that we create mostly ourselves, consciously or subconsciously, and that we must exchange these vibrations with the earth in our movement to higher and higher levels of understanding. So vibrational understanding is where it's all at, and that's the only way through evaluation of all events that happen that we will get our vibrational attunements and we move up in our vibration.
So with that said, we hope that you get something from this conversation, that you will converse with us on Facebook or Twitter or one of those programs. And we hope that your search will be honest and forthright in the continuance of your existence. Thank you for being with us.
And I do want to mention in closing that the second book in the Augmentation of Man series is on sale through Christmas for only $9.88. It's on Amazon. It is a great read. It talks about connecting the dots between our spirituality, science, astronomy, physics. What am I leaving out?
Mathematics, science, astronomy.
It also talks about
spirituality,
how man came into existence, and our connection to extraterrestrials,
to our brothers and sisters,
to the star brothers and
star
sisters,
brothers and sisters, yes.
And where man is going. Okay. And so it is a very interesting read. We urge you to pick up a copy. We've made it extremely affordable. It's not about us making a profit on it. I think we get about 30 cents off of each book when it's on sale. So we just want to get that information out there to you.
So you can learn. Anyway, thanks for being with us.
And as always, peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye now.